Hello, gorgeous souls. How are you today? So, we have Wi-Fi. We've got Wi-Fi in the house, and I have to find my microphone. I need a phone charger, and I want my notebook and my tripod. So I thought, if and when and while people are joining me here today live, might be a bit echoey, that I would get my charger. I will find my microphone and I will get my tripod. So if and when you're jumping on, please do say hello. If you're here with me on Facebook, drop me your favourite emoji in the comments. If and when you're catching the replay of the podcast here on Facebook, then hashtag replay. If you did not know, I've got a private podcast platform that you can subscribe to and listen to the audios of the podcast. The link for that is in my bio. And I also drop the video replay on my YouTube channel as well. So I'm going to be worn out by the time I get downstairs. But I just thought, you know what? I'm going to take full advantage of having Wi-Fi in the whole house, because for the last month, I've had to do my podcast either in the car, where there's been signal, or in one small room in the house where I've had signal. So we've got a plug. It's my sitting room. It's a sneak peek. It's so lovely in here. It's so bright. We love our new house. It's amazing. So we will do podcast in the office because I've got an office. This is the first time in my life that I actually have a designated office where I can do things. So rather than starting in the office, we're starting in the house, like just walking around. So if you're catching the replay over on YouTube, if you've got any comments, any things you want to say, share, please do let me know in the comments. If you are catching me on the replay on the podcast app, if there's any questions that you've got, any comments you want to share with me, you can email me at hello@louiseblood.co.uk. So got the microphone. Got myself some flowers this morning. This is the kitchen. A little sneaky peek of the kitchen. I was going to say the dog's here, but she's gone outside. She's not here. Hello, Joe. So yes, new house. So let's go and take a seat in here, and I'm just going to plug in the microphone because I've had a busy morning and I've not got this sorted. So if you are listening on the replay, it's just a bit of my house ASMR. Pop you in there. Vibes, there we go. And let's see, can we reach the plug? We'll go for a little while. I've got 18% battery. And I'm going to plug, do I plug the, yeah, I'm going to plug the microphone in, otherwise there's no point having it. So, today's episode, what I want to talk to you about is why you're doing everything right. And this is for you if you are running a business online. But you're still not getting the results. And the reason I want to talk about this today is because I have a masterclass coming up, a free masterclass for women in business, and it's happening on Monday the 30th. We begin on Monday the 30th of March. And the masterclass is called The Identity Gap. And it's helping you to shorten the gap between where you are now and the woman who, the identity of the woman who essentially is the one you need to show up as now if you want to make shit happen in your business, in your life too, but in your business. Because I'm going to talk about today 3 things that are impacting why you're not getting the results. And this is especially so if, and I'm particularly talking to women as well who have maybe been building their business for a while, you've created some results in the past, you have done quite well and things have been up and things have been down. You may have gone through some difficult times in the last few years, like challenging situations that have just been emotionally hard for you, and it's impacted how you've been able to show up in your business to the point where it had a detrimental effect on your business. And the after effects of that, and this is something that I don't think enough people talk about, is when you've been through like really difficult things that have impacted how you think, how you feel, who you are, it's been emotionally hard, and you do start to drop the ball in different areas of your life. and it changes how you've showed up. It impacts your results. You know, income can go down, like results can go down. Rebuilding something after you've, you know, created success and things have not disappeared, but things have diminished from what they were. It can be difficult in that rebuild stage. And these 3 things for you to consider are really going to help when it comes to you creating the results that you want to create in your business moving forward. Because a lot of women carry feelings of shame, feelings of guilt, and experiencing that feeling of failure, that impacts how you show up. So I think we're now plugged into the microphone and all the things, which is a vibe. So the 3 things, and this is something that we are going to talk about in more depth in the Identity Gap Masterclass. So if you're not registered for that yet, you can find the link for the Masterclass in my bio over on Instagram and also on Facebook. It's free to register. It's a 3 online free day event. 3 free day event. And I want to help you go into this gap that you're experiencing of like where you are now to not where you need to be, but for you to really connect with the identity of the woman who leads the business that you know you're capable of creating. This is especially for you if you find yourself saying, I know I'm capable of more. You can feel it in your body. You know you're capable of more, and you feel frustrated at the fact that you're not creating the results in your business that you know you're capable of creating. And it's the gap here. And this is what I want to talk about in the masterclass. So on today's podcast, if you're doing everything right, but you're not getting the results, we're going to check in with your energy, with your identity, and with your action. These 3 things. Because it's not necessarily what you are doing that is going to make a change. It's not the tick list. It's not the strategy that's impacting your results. So it's not necessarily the strategy that's wrong. The fact that you're doing or feel like you're doing so much and yet you're not creating the results that you know you're capable of creating. If I ask you, like, what energy and identity are you leading from? This is what will literally uncover everything. Because whether you are at the beginning of your business, or whether you are like I said, you've created success and then it's tailed off for whatever reason because things have happened. I want you to check in with what energy and identity are you leading from now? Are you doing it with shame attached? Are you doing it with that feeling of failure attached? Do you feel embarrassed by the fact that, you know, you built something and then it disappeared again? Because all businesses go up and down. All businesses have peaks and troughs. And it's how we lead ourselves and how we navigate in the times of, you know, when it's been up, but also when it dips. You know, something dipping is normal. And especially so if you've had, you know, other things happening in your life, it is normal. But we seem to make it mean something about who we are. So when you are taking the action in your life and also in your business, because obviously behind the scenes, everything that you do behind the scenes impacts how you show up for your business. It impacts how you show up in your life, you know, for other people, for your family, for your kids, for your partner. So are you leading from a state in your business? So we'll talk specifically about business today. Are you taking action from a place of doubting yourself? Are you questioning, like when you go to take the action and you go to maybe go live on Facebook, you go to do the post, you go to do the Instagram, you go to reach out to someone on DMs if you're connecting with people through DMs, you go to create anything for your business. What are your thoughts and what is your energy behind that as you go to do the thing? Is it one where it's aligned with the bigger vision? Is it aligned with the identity of the woman who has created success, created that stable, you know, that stability in her business, the freedom that you want? Is it aligned with that identity? Or are you in a state of doubting yourself? Like, who is going to listen? Is anyone going to be interested? Can I actually do this? Those fears, are they sort of more prevalent than the other identity? Like, which one is winning? Because if you are leading hoping then hope isn't a strategy. It's like you've got to build that belief within. You've got to lead with the I've got this, I'm doing this, I know I'm capable, I'm going to make it work, it's happening, oh my gosh, that vibe. Are you doing it from a place of trying to prove yourself? So if things have been up, I mean, in the beginning, we haven't got anything to go on. But when you have built some success and then things have gone down, are you now in a place where you're trying to prove yourself to other people? Are you trying to prove something to your family? Are you trying to prove something to your friends? Are you trying to prove something to your peers, to your colleagues, to people that you know in the industry that you work in? Are you trying to prove something to people? Because again, that energy is off. And this energy of an identity of like doubt or proving, or the other ones I'm going to go into, will impact how you think. It will impact the decisions that you make. It will also impact how you speak. It will impact how you communicate when you are writing, when you are choosing content, when you are speaking to people in the DMs. It affects everything. People can feel you. And especially like myself, like I am a very deep empath. So I feel people way before they speak. I can get a feel for someone before I've even spoken to them. And sometimes, like, if people communicate in certain ways, if you're an empath like me, you'll know what I mean. You just know. And it's like trusting that. When you have that energetic power, and that skill, that gift of being able to like feel energy, connect with energy, like exchange that energy. I find just by being in people's presence or by delivering like an interview on a podcast or something like that, literally people feel my energy. They often say, they feel goosebumps when I'll say certain things, and they will feel very grounded, or they'll feel very relaxed. They'll feel it's like just any tension or any of this energy, shakiness, it's like a confident grounding. That, people feel that. If you are in a state of trying to prove something to people, they will feel it. So if this is you, I'm not calling you out by saying you're doing anything wrong. It's more of a making you aware that if you doubt yourself, or if you're trying to prove yourself, then it is going to be felt and it will impact your results. Other identities and energies, pleasing. Are you trying to please other people? Do you try and create offers where you think, oh, well, I'm going to create this because people will really like this offer, and people will buy the offer because they like it, rather than this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I stand for, and this is what I offer. So when you are creating offers in your business, whether that's like a product, a service, whether it is a program that you're launching, whether you're considering putting something together, it's your business, you get to decide. So rather than putting the client in the place of power, you are the one creating the product. You are the one leading the business. So rather than thinking, what is it that I can create that's going to make everyone happy? It's, what is it that I want to lead? What feels the most impactful? What do I feel? Because your clients don't actually know what they need. You do. So you have to create something that is going to like change your client and give them the result that they want. They don't know what that is yet. And you do. So when you're clear on who you are, what you do, how you can help people, you can create your offers in a way where how you want to deliver them, how you want to show up in your business, like you get to choose that. So rather than doing everything from trying to please other people, it comes from a place of power, from that identity, from that energy. Because then when you are putting your offers out there, you're not doubting yourself. You're not doing it from a place of trying to prove yourself, because it's like, well, I know this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I'm good at, this is how I help people. And so you lead with that. It takes any shakiness out of the situation. It takes like decision making, or you thinking, is this going to land? I hope people like this. There is none of that. There isn't space for that in your business. Like, this is where we're going, like this. And you'll find that when you have that energy and that identity, that people will be magnetized to you, because you're leading in a clean energy. And this is what I want to really help you with in the identity gap. It's helping you to release any energy or any like identities or the identity that you're currently in that's making you like doubt yourself or trying to prove yourself or trying to please people or play safe. I've got a few more. So like playing it safe, you go to write something and you go to write something that's really on your heart or say something that's really on your heart. But as you go to take the action, you think, oh, I better not say that. I better not write that. I better not post that picture because people might not like it. People might get the wrong impression. People might not understand. People might get confused. Like you doubt yourself for a second. I don't want to upset anyone. Another one's here is like, you want to be palatable. You don't want to cause conflict or confrontation. And so you don't say anything. So again, that is you like diminishing your power, your personal power of who you are and who you're here to serve by you trying to play it safe. And the reason that I'm doing this masterclass on Monday is because I am literally in this gap now. I am personally in this gap right now. And I love to lead like my clients, and I love to lead like new people that come into my world, whether they become a client or not. You know, I do these free masterclasses for free. You don't have to join anything off the back of it. I share how you can continue working with me if you want to, but there's never any pressure in these things. You know, this is a free 3-day experience in the Identity Gap Masterclass, is to work on this because this is what I'm personally navigating at the moment, is going through that shift of, you know, what was to what is to like creation. And navigating that gap can feel uncomfortable. It's confronting. It's the things that come up in this time, in the gap, is an opportunity for us to really create something either new or create something better, create something, just create something new. And it's uncomfortable and it can be confusing. Like I said, it can be confronting. And so the time of that gap, like closing that gap from sort of the time in between, this is what I want to work on in the 3 days next week. So Monday, the 30th of March is when we're going to be delving into this work together. I want to go into and be really honest with, you know, what's led me to this right now in terms of going through this, like how it can feel. I've personally been navigating it for the last few years and my life has changed completely. You know, my business has changed completely from doing this work. And I feel like right now I'm just at that point where I'm closing a certain gap and I'm there. And I want to help you to go from like where you are right now, if you are leading from a place of like doubt, proving, pleasing, playing it safe, like that energy and identity in your business. So even though you're doing everything, you're not getting the results. I want to help you to really step into and embody the identity of the woman who leads herself powerfully, who knows who she is, who knows who she's here to serve in her business, who makes decisions, who actions those decisions quickly. You don't think too much about it. You lead, you move, you go. You don't always have it all figured out, but you're willing to do the work, which is to do the things. And not just do the things like in a brief moment of like motivation or excitement or in hype. This is about doing this consistently. This is about like being consistently. As in the identity and the energy is doing this work consistently, long term, to establish and create trust with yourself again, and also with your clients. And not just clients that have followed you or people in your audience that have followed you for, you know, a long time, because I'll know that when you do show up, you know, you create that loyalty, you create that connection with people, you build that trust because you are an awesome human being. But it's also to open up space for new people to come into your world, for your audience to grow, for you to become even more visible, for you to feel good with that, for you to feel safe to expand into that, for you to know that you've got what it takes now, you know, creating those foundations for yourself where success is inevitable. It's yours. It's done. This is what we're going to be talking about in the Identity Gap masterclass in way more depth, if I can get my tongue around my mouth. So if you want to register for the Identity Gap Masterclass, head to the link in my bio on Facebook and on Instagram. You can go there. I will drop the link to the masterclass in the show notes below, whether this is on YouTube or the podcast platform. And also I will drop it on my Facebook, even though you can go to the link in my bio. So I'll pop it there. It's completely free to register. And it's happening on Monday, the 30th of March. We're going to be running for 3 days, deepening the conversation, going more into this and helping you, like I said, to really release what no longer serves you. Step into and claim the identity of the woman who makes shit happen, gets shit done. And then it's how to hold that and like long term. It's no longer, it's like, I'm going to try, or the momentum's high and I can do it while the hype is there. It's, this is who I am. This is what I do. Creating stability, creating freedom, creating the results that you want to create in your business. This is what we'll be doing inside the Identity Gap. So, you know where to find all things. If you've got any questions about anything, any comments, then please just reach out to me either on DM or, like I said, you can email me if you're listening to the podcast. It's hello@louiseblood.co.uk. If you've loved this episode, you want to share this with people, whether it's in their inbox or whether you want to share this on your socials, just so more people can be part of the masterclass next Monday, then feel free to share. I would love you to share. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, shit, I've missed it, because you're catching or you're having a binge listen because you've just subscribed to the podcast, please don't worry. I host a masterclass, a free masterclass every single month. So I tend to host them towards the end of each month. So go over to my socials. If you're not already connected with me on Instagram or on Facebook, make sure you're connected with me on there. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. I drop obviously the weekly podcast on there here, and I will let you know, when I am hosting anything. But if you do sign up to anything that's over on my freebies or anything like that, then you will be notified of any free masterclasses that come up. They are to help you with your self-leadership, with your confidence, with your visibility, with your business, with creating offers, with clients, anything like that. I love, personal development. I love helping you in your business. This is just about helping you to really become the leader that you know that you are within. And the reason I'm so passionate about helping women with their self-leadership is because I used to struggle with it so much. And if you are someone who says to yourself a lot internally, you don't say this externally, but you say it to you a lot, and you have this feeling inside where you are capable of more, then make sure you're subscribed to my podcast. Make sure you are following me on the socials, because this is what this work is all about. I've been doing this for many years now. I've got so many resources. I've got so much content and things to really help you to completely change your life and help you to lead yourself powerfully and become confident, magnetic, all the things you want to be, and successful, and create the results that you want to create in your life and business. So I'm going to go now. Wishing you an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see and speak to you at some point.